across the UK. Let's speak to Dr. Jonathan Clarke from the Institute of Global Sustainable Development at the University of Warwick, where he researches the impact of extreme weather on populations. Thank you for joining us on LBC News tonight. This doesn't sound like a very pleasant weather system that's going to sweep over. It's going to cause quite a few problems by the sounds of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we're, as it says, we've got a red alert, a weather alert. So probably, this means actually a potential threat to life. But I think there's going to be a lot of disruption across quite a lot of the country, not just in Scotland.
The sheer scale of what's coming, people are going to ask, is this related to climate change? I know it's very difficult to pin individual events to climate change, but I guess we are seeing more extreme weather, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing more kind of weather events that are disrupting our daily lives, and those seem to be happening much more frequently than we have in the past. I mean, I suppose in terms of, the basic sciences of this, that warmer air does absorb more water, and that often leads to more rain. And certainly in the UK and worldwide, we're seeing an awful lot more events like this, but particularly storms, particularly floods.
And the question is going to be, how prepared are we? How prepared are we?
I mean, there was quite interestingly a report done in March by the Climate Change Committee, and they actually highlighted that the UK was strikingly underprepared for the impacts of climate change. Flooding's probably the most notable, but, we've got others there as well. And actually, there's been a national infrastructure assessment published today, highlighting, the need to modernise our infrastructure, the need to invest in it, particularly around, resilience and flood risk.
And what are we talking about? What do we need to do? What do we need to have?
Well, I mean, I think there's quite a range of things. I mean, certainly we think about flooding, and we tend to think about flooding as rivers and the sea. But actually, where a lot of people are experiencing problems is with surface water. So, very heavy rainfall events. We see a tube station flooded or a road. So actually a lot more local initiatives that hopefully help us to absorb rain, absorb flooding. Typically, rain gardens and perhaps some more local initiatives around dealing with water.
And part of your research is about how flood concerns are exacerbated by a rising population. How much of an issue is that?
I suppose part of it is that, flooding only really matters or tends to matter where there's people and where there's development. I mean, like many societies around the world, the UK is increasingly urbanised. More people are moving to cities. And as we develop places, we, pave over the countryside to a certain extent, they are more, more likely to flood. There's more impervious surfaces which lead to this kind of flash flooding.
Well, thank you very much for joining us on LBC News tonight. Dr. Jonathan Clarke there from the Institute of Global Sustainable Development at the University of Warwick. We do have, as I say, these